Alright guys, so I'm headed out to the mountain right now. Give you guys a quick little update. So I've still got a few review videos to do, stuff between now and start of hunting season. I got some stuff coming. Not a lot, but I got a few little things going. I'm fixing to start. I've got a 14-foot aluminum V-hole boat that I've had for years, but I also haven't took that boat out in probably 10 years. Last time I took it out, it had a couple little small slow leaks, nothing bad, but enough to be annoying. I got to start working on that. I'm fixing to redo the trailer on it, get it all fixed up, ready to start doing some fishing off of it, I think. But anyways, this morning I am on my way to the mountain to do some scouting for deer season. I've got a spot that I found real late last season. And when I say real late, I mean like the last 2 days, last day of hunting season. I haven't been out there aside from that time. I haven't been out there scouting. I haven't scouted at all since the deer season. Last season, I've just been working really. And I told my wife the other day, I was like, I need to get up, get out, get my butt out there and do some walking. I've got some places I need to look at. We've got a couple of we got one WMA that we hunted last season that was new to me and James both. We hunted it a little bit. We didn't kill anything out there, but we seen some deer, had a little luck, seen a few deer, but Bill hunted it 3 or 4 times. We're gonna get more serious about hunting different places this year. I think we're going to end up covering 3 different places this year. So we got the WMA I usually hunt, and then we got 2 other ones that we're gonna do some hunting on. But anyways, I got this one spot I need to get out and look at for sure. Like I said, I haven't been out there at all. I seen it on the map, and it kind of had my interest, and then I did a little scouting out there close to it last year, and I seen it from way up the mountain. Because there were no leaves on the trees, you could see you can see a long ways. And I thought, oh my gosh, that looks like a killer place. So between what I see on the map and what I seen from way up the mountain, it looks really good. Like it has a lot of features and set it up really well for big deer. But anyways, that being said, I don't want to say too much. I don't want to give away where I'm going, but it's a nice place. So I'm gonna go check that out this morning on my own. I tried to get hold of James, get him to go with me, but he's got some stuff going on this weekend, I think. So I'm just gonna get out here, put a little walking in, and see what I can find.
Alright guys, so I'm up here. This is one of the spots I wanted to look at a little better. It's where I killed that big buck in October the 6th of last year. This is where I shot him. So how this lays out is we've got a big little oak flat right here. I mean, there's just a ton of red oaks right here. And I hadn't really seen anything but just junk trees and red oaks. There's a pine thicket, like an edge right through here, a pretty hard defined edge right there. You got a straight drop off back here that kind of funnels them. So last season I set up closer to that drop off. I was thinking they would walk that I mean, it's not really a bluff, but it's a pretty straight drop. I was thinking they would walk that edge maybe, or somewhere right in here. Well, they were further over this way than what I thought. They stayed in this thicker stuff, and they popped out in this little checking a scrape. But I wanted to come back up here. For one, I wanted to see if I could find the arrow I never found from that deer. And 2, I wanted to just kind of break this spot down a little better because the only time I hunted this was the day that I killed that buck, and I never came back. And I'd never been up here before that. So I walked up here and looked, and I was really set up too far over that way for sure. All the sign, there's a really hard trail that runs right through here along the edge of this. So I'm not saying they're not coming up here on the Oak Flat, because that's definitely where I killed that buck, and there was another buck with it. But what they're doing, it looks like they're not traveling that edge so much. They're staying on this edge. This is a lot thicker. Heard something. It's a lot thicker over here. And what they're doing is they're walking this edge. There's a ton of old rubs from last season and years before, all up and down this trail that goes right through here. And when I shot that deer, he turned and shot back toward that trail, which he only went like 30 yards and he died in the edge of this pine. But I think this year I'm going to come back right around the 1st of October again. And because I heard deer moving all morning, like it sounded like all around me down here, and I was back here, but I never could see them. And then those two bucks come from up here, and they popped out right in this thicker stuff right here. And they were walking down, and they were turning and fixing to pop back out onto that trail. I think they just came up here to check the scrapes that were up here, because they had several scrapes around this wall, and I think they were just coming up here to check those scrapes, really. Because there's not really much else going up here besides the red oaks and those scrapes. This place was eat up with scrapes and rubs in October last year. So I got another spot I need to go check. I really hadn't planned on coming up here first, but I was gonna hit this on the way out, and then I seen something on the way up here that caught my eye, and so I hopped up the mountain. I literally was shot straight up the side of the ridge to get here. So I thought, well, I'm this far, I might as well come on up here. But it took me an hour and a half to walk here the way I came in last year, but I think this year I'm going to come in from a different direction. I found a better way in and back out, so it won't be so long of a drag either. Alright guys, I know scouting videos are not super eventful. They're not super exciting to watch probably. But anyways, I wanted to tell you guys this. So all around me here, I'm standing in a bowl. There's private property, a little piece over that way behind the camera. I've got this draw that feeds back up in here, it's drainage that feeds back up into this ridge. So coming off this ridge, there's a point that comes down, and it splits off like this. You got a finger that comes out this way, you got one that comes out this way. Then on the other side of this draw, you got another one that comes out this way, and it dumps off right here. It's hard to see because it's so thick, but it dumps off here behind me, and then it funnels over this way, and there's another little micro drainage that goes this way, and you got two more dipping off that way. And then you got that private back behind. And literally a couple 100 yards over there, I found a old aluminum looking climbing stand. Looks like it's been not touched for like 20 years. And right here we got this, I mean, this is a good size historical rub on this cedar tree right here. I mean, you're talking, it's almost waist high, just a little under waist high, and that's a good one. So I don't know. I literally just got into this bowl right here. There's no wind right here. It's real stagnant, but I still think this will be a killer place to hunt. This is what I wanted to look at, though. I seen this from way up the ridge last year when all the leaves were off the trees, and I thought, oh, buddy, I'm gonna keep looking around and see what this little micro drainage over here looks like. But I'll kill one right here this fall, somewhere right here in this little holler. I just got to find the tree. Alright guys, so I'm gonna show you, I told you I was in that one little bowl and there was a micro drainage that cut up to the side of me. So I hopped across, I followed it up, dropped across the other side of the little finger that run down, and it put me in another good little bowl right here. And right up here on this hill, looks really good. There's a saddle right here, and then it feeds, that saddle drops off into this bowl. You got a finger coming off this way. You got this one going this way that goes up to a point, a pretty high point. And then look right here behind me. I found an old homemade wood stand. Now, I'm on public property, but this probably wasn't always public, and well, I know it wasn't always public, and it's not too far off of a private block. There's a private property line, several hundred yards maybe that way. There's a good private property right there, but I don't believe, looking at the property on a map, I don't believe that the deer actually own the private. But what I do think is that private, for reasons I'm not gonna disclose here because I don't want anybody to know where I'm at, but I think that private funnels those deer this way. I think it'll funnel them and keep them pushed back this way because of what it is. That's all I'm gonna say. But I don't necessarily think that the deer are staying on that private. And to get where I'm at, Lord, unless you come in from the private, which is fairly possible. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, somebody off of that private property could have built this years and years and years ago. I don't know how long those people have owned it, but somebody from that private at some point could have came right here and built this pretty easy without having to carry stuff in a long ways. But if you're coming into this spot from public, like 90% of anybody else who would hunt this would be, I mean, I'm close to, I don't know, I'm well over 2 miles from the truck to here. So let's go with that. It's a long walk. But yeah, I thought that was a good spot. Like I said, I'm fixing to move on a little bit more. I'm gonna go check out this saddle up here and push back up this drainage just a little bit this way. Then I gotta get out of here because it's such a long walk back to the truck. But I thought I'd show you guys that. Anytime you find stuff like that, it's a good idea to note it. Put it on a pit, drop a pin on it on your maps. If somebody thought this was a good enough spot to nail a bunch of wood up in the tree, make a permanent stand here, it's a good spot. And that's what I thought. Like I said, I was looking at this area from way up the ridge when all the leaves were off the trees, and I thought, I guarantee that's going to be a good spot. And I don't know when yet. I'm not sure what time of the year it'll be a good spot. I have no history with this at all. I don't know what deer are back here. I didn't bring any cameras because I don't run cameras, but I just wanted to come out here and scout, look for sign, and see what I seen. See how the property laid out in person and not on a map. So we'll look around for a minute, see what we find.
Alright guys, I just wrapped up my little scout trip. I put the miles on this morning. I've been walking since about 8 o'clock, scouting around. I had several places that I needed to look at that I figured out were there last season. Like the last day or two, I kind of walked out there close and seen it from way up the ridge, but I needed to find a better way to get down into this area, or these couple areas. I wanted to find a better way to get down into them from where I was at. So I went out there and did a little walking. A lot of people, if you knew where this spot was at, they would say, I walked past, 100, 200 deer just to get out there. And that's probably true. I mean, that's not a lie. You can kill deer a lot closer to the truck. But the kind of deer that I'm chasing after, the bucks that I'm chasing after, I'm trying to be a little more picky now than I have in previous years. Last season, I got that big buck in October, early October. That kind of spoiled me. Didn't really want to shoot anything real small after that, so I don't know. I'm not saying, if I get all the way out there, as far out as it is, that if I see a big doe, I'm not going to shoot it, because I will 100%. I'll lay it down, put that joker on my backpack it out. I won't drag one out from that far. It's a ridiculous walk. There's no way I'd drag one, but I'll quarter it up and backpack it out for sure. So it is what it is. But everything I found today out there, I'm pretty excited about. I feel like I found some really good spots. I found some really good sign from last season. I found some good sign from right now, like current sign. And I know that's not necessarily where the deer will be come season, but when you lay everything out, apples to apples, and kind of compare what's going on now to what was going on, you can tell what was going on during the season. I got pretty high hopes for this coming deer season. So, like I said, we've got a couple of things coming up. I've still got several review videos I'm going to kick out. A few things here and there I'm going to do. I got a boat I'm going to start working on pretty soon, but won't be long. We got about, let's see, it's the end of May. We got June, July, August, half of September. So 2 weeks into September. So we got about 3.5 months left till deer season. I'm ready. I'm pumped. I'm ready. I got more spots than I've ever had to hunt. Last season we hunted all over. This season we're going to do things quite a bit different too. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, thanks. We'll catch you guys in the next one.